My view of that is low-key skewed now because of Kill Tony. Like, sometimes I'll turn on YouTube and see like 130,000 niggas in one place. I'm like, what the? Where are these people at?
Kill Tony had
everybody's just sitting at home right now watching this.
I'm so glad you said that. Kill Tony had 100. It was Matt Rife episode.
Matt
Rife, yeah. They had 150,000 people, at least from what I saw. Like, I think it went up even higher after that.
Yeah.
But I was in there for a good 30 minutes when it was 150,000 live viewers because I just couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
It felt like you were sitting in the audience, right?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
When it's like, that many people, you feel like...
Yeah, this is crazy. Is it really 150,000 of us
you
watching
can't even, my fault.
This bullshit? Because I'm like, in 30 minutes, I didn't even chuckle really. Like, I'm like, this shit sucks. Ain't no way 150,000 people are sitting here watching this shit.
Yeah, you got to be patient to be a real comedy fan, though.
Yeah, no, I don't. No, you don't.
Be a real comedy fan.
Opie and Anthony gets cracking immediately.
You're listening to the highlights that got clipped, though.
No, I've watched the full episodes, too.
Yeah, there's full episodes.
Beginning of the show.
You're also listening. That's scripted content.
It's not scripted. That's radio.
Radio isn't like planned and scripted?
No, they're not scripting everything they're saying all day.
Opie and Anthony are scripting their content, but the comedians and professionals that they're having on, which makes the show funny, are able to like kind of free roam. But on syndicate radio, you damn sure have a 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 2 hours. Like, you know what you're about to be saying.
Any place where you have a break.
I'm saying that to the point. I'm saying that I know. I knew he was about to say. I know. Right. I'm saying that to the point that you're judging. Nick, can you flick that shit?
Can you get your point out without looking at me?
Nah, my brother's in distress. I'm saying that because watching a live show that's happening live and like I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, I feel
like
I feel
it's a live show, so what you're seeing is literally what you're getting. Almost like if you go to a regular comedy show. You know what I'm saying? Like you're judging two different things based on two different standards.
Nope. Kill Tony's trash. It's fucking trash. And I've watched multiple episodes. Even when there's 30,000 people in there, I'd be like, why are people here? I just don't get it.
You don't like comedy.
I do. I love comedy. I enjoy all I was listening to.
You don't like comedy to the point where you can hear, like, you can laugh at somebody being bad.
Yeah, what? Are you kidding me? I go to open mics for that specific reason.
So you should love Kill Tony. I mean, and the thing with podcasts in general is that like trying to recommend your friend your favorite podcast, they could just hop onto an episode to where it's like, I don't really understand like the dynamic of what makes this great. It's not like a TV show to where it's like, yo, watch season 3, episode 4 of Everybody Hates Chris. Nigga, that's the craziest shit ever. We're not typically doing that with podcasts. Podcasts is one of them things to where it's like, it's served raw. It's literally served raw every time. You'll accept a little less from a podcast that you like because they're having an off week. But if you come in on an off week, you're like, what do these niggas do all the time?
Sounds like
I can't watch this.
Sounds like Kill Tony has a lot of off weeks.
Nah. This is a good show.
It's not.
This is a good show.
I don't think so at all.
What show do you like that other people like as much as Kill Tony?
There's not that many people that like any shows as much as Kill Tony, honestly. Like, nigga, they had 150,000 people, and I couldn't believe
That's what
that.
I'm saying. Like,
what is that?
For a reason.
Nothing bad has that many views that go on.
No.
Nothing bad.
Something bad. No, I don't believe that at all.
Why?
I don't believe that at all. Because I think there's like a special white demographic. There's a special vein you could tap in marketing as a product maker that appeals to the most people.
Yeah.
In the actual skill, talent, or artistic view is not the highest, but to those people, they love it enough to where they'll financially buy into it. I think Taylor Swift has that. I think Kill Tony has that.
Kevin Hart.
Corey Holcomb got that shit.
Nah, Kevin Hart.
You can't just name people on the biggest scale. It's people that got, you know what I mean?
I feel like because some people like, there's people who love Kevin Hart, but like nobody's saying he's the greatest comic of all time.
Right.
But in terms of success, it's hard to argue.
Yeah, let's just say that. Yeah,
you get
so
what I'm
Kevin
saying?
Hart.
I was just giving an example. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, that shit ain't the best. Sometimes it doesn't have to be the best. And more people will watch that shit. It's just what it is. There's a special vein. If you can tap into that vein, you have fucking made it. You've made it in business.
You have.
You fucking made it.
But
If
you
can
still
tap
have
into
to
that
be
vein.
good when you're there.
No, you don't. That's
Yes,
the
you
whole.
do.
We're talking
Yes, you
about
do.
not being good.
You have to be good.
We're literally talking about not being good.
You're
and being
talking
at the
about
top.
not being good.
We're talking about being at the top and not being the best. That's what we're
But you
talking
can't
about.
be at the top if everybody thinks you're bad. That's why good and bad is just perspective. Like half
No,
don't,
you have found the people that think you're the best. But we know the people who really do it, we know you're not the best. But you found there's a special vein in marketing or
It's like you found your
consumerism
people.
where you have
they
found,
found a whole lot of people.
yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the world. So you
Yeah,
can do that.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people like it,
yes.
and you don't. And that's
Yeah,
fine.
just like Kevin Hart, a lot of people like it, and there's a lot of people that don't,
Yeah.
and they don't think he's the best comedian.
But it's hard to say that Kevin Hart is bad at comedy. You feel comfortable saying that?
I wouldn't say.
Oh,
that.
that's your point.
No, I wouldn't. Say
I get what
that.
you're saying.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to get to is like just because like
But I don't think I'm saying that either because I think
you're saying that Kill Tony is bad.
Because
I
it
think
goes
the show is fucking terrible.
it goes
yes.
back to the 𝙾𝚂𝚃 point where it's like
what you're saying.
the bitch is she doesn't really have any talent necessarily.
Yeah.
But she's just known worldwide.
Like the
We're
most, the most I've enjoyed Kill Tony was at that roast. That shit was fire as fuck. But I think the
roast.
show is trash. I genuinely think it's trash. The most fun I've ever had watching that show was that Biden Trump episode. That shit was amazing.
And you didn't even earn the right to like that, nigga.
I loved that episode, but
That-
it was because
that
I was
episode
watching
was good.
Shane Gillis
It
and
was
the
good,
other
though.
niggas.
And that's the thing, right? Like
But outside of that, I'm like, this shit sucks.
it has its moments. It has its moments.
It's not enough for me to figure. I can't figure out why 150,000 people are there.
Because
'Cause
it's not enough to justify, and I feel like you're really missing that it's a live comedy.
I don't give a
it's
fuck
a
about
live
that.
open mic.
I don't care. I've been to a lot of live open mics.
Not
A shit ton
hosted,
of
Were
them.
they
not
all
hosted,
good?
not hosted
No.
by 3 comedians, or well, really one.
Those hosts ain't that best.
Two.
Their hosts ain't that
Technically.
funny. That's the issue. Like I said before, I think if they had other people there, I think that shit would be a funnier show.
Yeah, like
I don't
when,
think I don't think the host.
You
are
don't
that
like-
good.
when
it-
Dave
so
when
that's
Dave
what goes
Attell's there, like it's funny. When Mark Norman's
Gillis.
funny, like that's why I'm saying it has its moments. I don't think this is just straight garbage.
It's not straight garbage. It's impossible.
I believe that. Obviously, it's not, but I think I can make that show better by switching the host out. The show would be fucking phenomenal after that. I think they're winning a lot off of first of the market of this style.
I think you got to give
Which
Tony
host?
Hinchcliffe more credit
You
for
have to.
what he's doing.
I can give him credit in the other things that he does. I don't think Tony Hinchcliffe is funny at all on that show.
Have you ever watched a full episode?
Yes.
You watched a full episode.
A full episode.
So do you
I don't think
understand-
he's funny in that show, period.
Well, okay, I'm
but
not
I
going
think
to
he's
argue.
I think he's funny in other places that I've seen him though.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna
Yeah.
argue what you find funny because
Yeah.
there's no arguing that.
Right, right.
But like I do respect what he does on that show because keeping that together in the form, like you're trying to make an open mic into a live podcast. Like you don't know who's coming up on this stage and how good or bad they're about to be, but regardless of what they do, you have to make this shit make sense.
We have club hosts in Raleigh that have been like doing club hosts, and they're the nigga that's on the microphone. They could do just as good a job as that. It's just about practice and repetition. That's all it is.
Why aren't they?
You don't believe that.
Yeah, why
I
aren't
do
they
believe
doing
that.
it then? If it's that, if
You
they're
don't believe that.
good, where are they?
Because they're focused on scamming and making more VIP booths in the club than starting a
You
podcast.
Don't believe that.
It's not even true. That's hyperbole.
That can't be true.
Should have made this his own segment. I can't remember how we got here, but
Yeah, it just happened
Off the
naturally.
Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco.
They're usually live when we're recording, right?
they are. I know it's late. It's definitely
It's
late,
probably
yeah.
late, yeah. Lauren, just go pull it up just real quick. See what they have right now, just out of curiosity.
Oh, see if they're live right now.
Ocho might have got to the
because they
room
usually
late.
are when even
It do be late when they're out.
not,
yeah.
not Nightcap Kill Tony, nigga.
Oh, my fault.
Oh, Nightcap is on. How many people were in there right now though?
Yep.
23,000 people. Niggas be watching this show.
Yeah.
How dare you be late? That shit is crazy.
Can you justify why 23,000 people are watching this?
I can't.
Okay, so you're just a hater overall.
Yeah, they're not live right now.
Oh, 2 hours ago?
Yeah.
They be having
You
some
just
crazy. They be having some crazy live. I've never seen less than 30,000. Honestly,
Yeah.
I've never seen less than 30,000 live. Yeah. I've
Kill
never seen-
Tony is good. I'm telling you. You just gotta. Well, it's not for you. You're
Yeah,
not
I
a.
think it's trash.
Your sense of humor sucks.
My sense of humor is fantastic.
It's hard, man. It's hard, man. What they got to do is hard. They're working with nothing.
Actually,
And say you can see somebody else other than
being a stand-up, like having like the expectation to be funny, like that's its own thing in itself. But having the expectation that other people on your show are gonna come up and be entertaining, that's even harder because you can't control them niggas.
like who's that one dude? David Spade.
Yeah.
The guy from
The
all the
Apollo.
Adam
I used to
Sandler.
enjoy- I used to enjoy watching the Apollo more.
Illest mullet of all time.
So when he was on Kill Tony, it was like,
Because Steve Harvey was better than Tony Hinchcliffe.
who, where?
Similar show, the Apollo. I don't know who these people are. They're getting on stage. We might boo them. We might cry for them. It's all about the host. Steve Harvey was way more entertaining.
Similar. And that's how you feel.
Yep. The host sucks in that format.
I gotta go back and watch. I just remember Steve Harvey being legendary. And I don't know if
I'm
that's enough
literally
to just give it to him.
I'm just giving it
it's
to him because Steve Harvey's a legend.
I'll
Like,
just
that's
give
the
it to
only
him.
reason.
But at the same time, it's like, man, Kill Tony's good.
Tony Hinchcliffe is funny. But yeah.
How do we get
But
here?
that was a good question. Like, you couldn't even. Could you tell us why there's 20,000, 23,000?
Could you do that with any show?
Yep.
We'll do it with them.
All right, I can give you a good reason. What show is he? What show is okay, number one, most of these numbers are 100% coming from Shannon Sharp, right? So what's the Monday through Friday show he's with? Who's he with, like Monday through Friday?
I don't know. This is your answer, nigga.
That's
I don't know, but long story short, he's attached to a huge network Monday through Friday that's like millions of people are watching daily. Whatever, the sports show.
nigga.
Are you
Yeah,
talking about
with
First
Steven.
Take?
First Take, yeah,
Stephen
Stephen
A.
A. Smith,
Yeah,
right? So, okay, so
You're not
number,
saying why it's good, though.
I'm telling you, I'm justifying the number, the 26,000 right now. So he's on a show with Stephen A. Smith where he's the headliner, well, one of the headliners, co-headliner, where millions of people watch that shit daily, right? Okay, that's number one. So he already has, normally when you're looking at like conversion rates, you're only looking at like 1%, 2% at the most. If he gets 1% of a million or whatever, he's already extremely close. Like, this nigga's up, you know what I'm saying? So he's got that. Plus, he also has Club 𝔓𝔬𝔑, which is the biggest podcast right now, like, in his like one-on-one interview thing. And then he has this show.
Podcast right
Like
now.
the biggest, the biggest on the rise urban shit. This shit is crazy.
Man, that's when right now. I feel like that's when
It could die out, but the shit is booming right now.
It's
nigga.
the biggest right now.
Is it bigger than
Nigga,
Joe Budden's?
Yes,
Yeah,
right
it
now,
is.
yes, it is.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay. That's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the people watch it because he's the biggest.
Yeah, he's
That's what
fucking,
you're saying.
he's hot.
He's the most
Yeah,
famous.
He is
Marlon
he
Wayans
is red
episode's
hot.
like
He is
crazy.
red hot right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Shannon Sharp is red hot right now. Point blank. Period.
But when I was asking, I meant in a sense of like what artistically is happening right here. Like you didn't say anything about him being a good interviewer or like he's good at just holding a conversation or even like his
Because
clientele.
that goes to my point before.
at
He doesn't
guests.
have to have any skills. He actually does, though. Retired football player, so he has a specialized insight in football, and then he's gotten better at everything else that he does, interviewing people and other people. But he's coming from a specialized thing. But I'm justifying the numbers. All you ever have to do is justify the numbers. The nigga can have zero skill, and we could justify the 23,000 based on what he's doing during the daytime.
Which is that 26 or 27? now, by the
26 or
way.
whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, numbers are easily justifiable. Having some sort of mastery and some sort of skill is just a little cherry on top. That's all it is.
Yeah. And you couldn't do that with Kill Tony.
No, I couldn't.
You couldn't do that same science with Kill Tony. You couldn't be like, well, first of all,
Because
he's
I
a
don't
stand-up
watch
comedian.
enough stuff that he's doing outside of it because I think he's only doing it. I know he was a legend in like on roast and writing rooms and shit like that. So like on the roast, that was the most entertainment that I've ever like received watching Tony Hinchcliffe. And then like I've heard other podcasts talk about like how legendary he is via the writing room and things of that nature, right?
Yeah.
So he's probably a legend there, but that's not where his focus is at. I only see him weekly and daily on this fucking shit.
Being
And
a comedian.
Oh yeah, he's still being a comedian.
and it's not good. In that medium, it's not good. But
No,
I
but
heard he's a legend in the writing room.
I mean that in the sense
and I
of where
heard
like
he's
he's
great
still
at
on
roasting.
tour and like he's still like going
Yeah,
up
because
and
he's on a
doing it.
podcast. Yeah, because he's on a podcast.
You
That's why.
understand, after he does this, he does his real set. Like, this is just the the precursor to the actual set.
Right.
So like it works like everybody comes, they do a little open mic, they film Kill Tony, they view him freestyling, right? They see him freestyling off the cuff, and then he shows them the real material. You get what I mean? Like it's a whole process. And it's crazy how like we're talking about a nigga that did a podcast in Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
And we're debating on if it's good. But if he was black, we wouldn't even question it. I wouldn't even question it. It would be like, even if it is bad, like nigga, it doesn't matter. But we're somehow, not we, but you are somehow like trying to question whether it's good or not. Nigga, Madison Square Garden, we have to like,
For a
it has
podcast?
to be, it has to
For
be
a podcast.
like,
Did
if
you
that's,
see that shit? It was niggas sitting on the ceiling.
So we're using where they sold out as the qualifier.
well, that is
you
a lot of people,
You brought up
AJ.
Shannon Sharp being an ESPN pundit, having a Hall of Fame football
Because
career.
you asked me to justify the 23.
and now we are justifying the 170,000 niggas that be watching this
And
shit
I think
live.
it's trash.
Madison
Because I
Square
think
Garden
they
pretty
found.
big,
I
though.
think they found the perfect consumer vein, like I said earlier,
Of course.
which is why they're there.
Which is why Shannon Sharp is going to
Where
continue
he
to grow.
is, yeah.
Which is like,
He's almost there. He's right there, but he's like 30. I feel like it might be up tonight just because something. Because I feel like I normally see like 13 to 15,000. So
Oh.
the fact that he's almost at 30,000, I feel like there might be something going on right now.
and he just
but
dropped.
I'm not 100% sure. But like Kill Tony is consistent. I don't give a fuck what's happening. It's at 30,000 minimum.
And
I haven't seen it less than that.
It's two completely different standards. It's two completely different shows.
Yeah.
One has like other famous people on there, multiple, while Shannon just has like one for the most part. And I'm
And
saying,
sometimes they don't even be
I'm
that
saying
famous.
on his interview show, not like with Ocho and shit.
oh yeah. Oh,
But
yeah,
also,
yeah,
it should be a lot of people in there. I mean, he just dropped a phenomenal interview with Marlon Wayans. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, they're probably waiting to hear about the back end of that situation.
Oh, should we go talk about that?